why today when we talk. But first I want to do an exercise before we begin. I want everybody to put their hands on their hearts. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in. 1 in. And again. 1 more time. I want you to look at the woman next to you, and I want you to say to her, I'm flipping the script. Say, I'm flipping the script. We are flipping the script. I'm flipping the script. Oh, all right, you guys. All right. That'll come back later, promise. It is the season, isn't it? It feels like it's the season to eat. I swear Christmas feels like it starts at Thanksgiving. We are smack dab in the middle of eating and booze and just holidays, party season. And it can feel really hard. We feel like our goals and our health are here, while our family and our life and our enjoyment are over here. We segregate them. We think we can't be healthy and enjoy life. We can't be healthy and enjoy food. We can't be healthy and enjoy our family. We can't go to parties, have celebrations, and still enjoy life. The problem is, ladies, with this mindset, it's an all or nothing, and we talk about that. This mindset that is all or nothing. It's either you are 100% on, or you suck, you shouldn't even try, you don't do it. And this all or nothing mindset, what started out in January 2022 last year, started and stopped about a handful of times now. Am I right? And if it hasn't, and if you've been consistent, girl, amazing. That's amazing, because it is hard. And it's hard work to keep going every time you fall down. But what started out good starts out starting and stopping. And it can be easy, right, to just say, screw it. Screw it. I'll just start in the new year. I'll just start in January. You know what? We're just going to eat whatever. I don't need to finish my workouts. I don't need to do this. Screw it. Like I said, that mindset, it's not a good mindset. Because although your goals, they may be in the future, and you may not have reached your goals yet. But let me tell you what, your habits are now. Your habits are in the present. Your habits are the vehicle that get you to the goal. So when you say, no, I'm going to start next week will be better, tomorrow will be better, next year will be better. It won't be. I promise you it won't be. Because unless you build the habits now, it's not going to get easier then. Habits are the vehicle to get you to the goal. The problem is, it's the habits. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. I can promise you that. You can have your cake and eat it too. There is a culture, there's a diet culture, there's media, there's the fitness industry that will try to tell you it is one way or the other. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can have balance within boundaries of reaching your goals. There can be balance. And so, ladies, the problem that tends to become the excuse is, I don't have time. I don't have money. The holidays, the celebrations, the injuries, the doctor's report, the kids, right? All of these things. Ladies, these are not the thing that is stopping you. And though they may look legitimate, they may seem like it, it's your mindset. It's your mindset. In the Fit Club, we have the 5 pillars of a successful transformation. And there's 2 pillars in there that without them, your transformation will not succeed. And I say, health and fitness tools without direction or purpose lead to addiction, distortion, and dysmorphia. That's the truth. And so with the 5 pillars, it goes mindset. Your mindset is the most important thing on your fitness journey. We have nutrition. You got to know nutrition. Training and cardio, Those things are good. Those 3 things are good. The last one, consistency. Without consistency and mindset, you won't stand. Some of those habits will become addictions, distortions. So mindset is super important. The mindset, ladies, has to shift from, I'm speaking from a place of just knowing, has to shift from I can't, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't want to do meal prep, I don't want to learn about nutrition, it's so overwhelming. All of these excuses that we make up. I don't want to diet, I can't afford it. Oh, it's my hormones, it's my genetics, it's my weight, I've never been able to. The doctor said this, so-and-so said this, the news said this. You're looking at the problem. You're going to find an excuse. It has to switch, ladies, from looking at the problem to finding a solution. How can I? What can I do? Yes, I'm not saying that whatever you're going through is not legitimate. You know what? Life may suck right now. You may have got a bad doctor's report. You may have injuries. You may be going through something that I don't even understand, that it seems so overwhelming. But let me tell you, there is something you can do. There is a step you can take. There always is. Your mindset. Your mindset. Oh, your mindset, it has to switch from I don't, I can't, to how can I? I feel heavy, but what step can I take? What can I do? I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to work out, but what can I do? See, ladies, this is neuroscience. Your brain attracts like thoughts. Did you know that? Your brain attracts like thoughts. It will show you what you're looking for. You will go in the direction of your most predominant thought. Your story will go in the direction of your most predominant thought. How are your thoughts? Where are your thoughts taking you? I'll give you an example of this. How many people, for the mothers in here, that wanted to get pregnant, started seeing pregnant women everywhere? You thought, holy shit, everybody wants to get pregnant now. It's like, I want to get pregnant, now it's time to get pregnant. No, no, no. Your brain is aware of it, so you start seeing it everywhere. It's powerful. Same thing with a vehicle. You see a vehicle you want or you like, and you're like, everybody's buying this vehicle. I want this vehicle. And you start seeing it everywhere. You will always find what you are looking for. Always. So if you're looking at the problem, you'll find an excuse. But if you're looking for a solution, you'll find it. You'll find a way. I want you to look at the woman next to you, and I want you to tell her, I am committed and I am confident. I am committed. Come on, ladies. I am committed and I am confident. How many of you, and you don't have to raise your hands for this, this can be totally personal. How many of you those words came out, but you didn't feel it aligned with you? You said the word, but you don't feel it. That's not a part of your brain process. It's not a part of your relationship with yourself yet. You don't feel that way. I have 2 questions, and I'm going to kind of break them down for you. You can get out your phones. Get out your notes. I want you to write down your answer to this question. It's like taking a before photo of your body when you start a journey, but this is your mindset, okay? So I have the first question I want to ask you, and ladies, answer this honestly. Nobody has to see this, okay? What would it take for you to be fully committed on your journey? Dream case scenario. What does that look like for you? To be fully committed. Doesn't matter what it is. You can think about it in your head too. But what would it take for you to be fully committed to your nutrition, to your training, to building a healthy relationship with yourself, to changing your inner dialogue with yourself, to loving who you are? What would it take? Second part to that question. What would you have to commit to changing? What would you have to commit to changing? What would you have to commit to changing? Ugh, the hard pill to swallow, but it's one we gotta swallow. All right. Second question. What does confidence mean to you? Not what Pinterest says, not what a scripture says, not what Susie says. What does it truly mean to you? Nobody has to read this, but here's the thing. You need to be fully honest with you because honesty brings clarity. And in order for you to be able to make a change, there needs to be clarity. There needs to be honesty. So what does confidence mean to you? And I'm going to re-ask that in a different way because when I'm put on the spot, I can't think or write down my answer. So I'm going to ask it in a sense of what fuels your confidence. So if there's a gas station every day you could get filled up because that thing fueled you, what is fueling your confidence? What things are you going to that makes you feel confident? What things are you relying on that make you feel confident? Write it down. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no right or wrong questions here, ladies. This is so personal, and it has to be 100% transparent and honest with yourself. I'll give you a second. Changing your story, ladies. Changing your story, it has to come from within. It has to come from something deep within us. It can't come from without. So whatever you answered for those questions, whatever that was to you, were those things outside of you, or were those things from within you? Were those things on circumstances, people, places, genetics, something outside of you changing? Or was it something from within you? Here's the thing. Just like when I said, when you look for the problem, you will find an excuse. And when you look for a solution, you'll see how you can do something. When we say that to be fully committed and our confidence comes from things without us, we've now said we've put ourselves in a position to not change. We've said that these things have to change in order for me to change. So you've taken yourself out of a position of power. But here's the thing. Responsibility, taking responsibility equals power. When you say, you know what, things may be shit. Life may not be going my way. I may have got the worst news. But you know what? I am where I am because of decisions I made, not anybody else, right? I am where I am because of me, but I can make the change. And so when you take responsibility, you now are empowered to change. Responsibility equals power to change. Because the problem is, when we're looking for the problem, here's the thing with the problem, we'll always find an excuse. But here's the thing with excuses. They're very wrapped pretty in legitimate reasons, right? But the root of an excuse is fear. It's fear. The root of excuse is fear. And I like to call this a limited belief. Whether someone spoke it over you as a child, whether it's something that you spoke over yourself, whether it's something that just you believed, and you've taken it. And a limited belief limits you from being the woman that you were created to be, to being everything that you ever wanted to be, fully confident, fully committed. That's what a limited belief does. It's a lie. But here's the thing. The only way it has power over you is, one, if you don't know it's there, of course. It keeps you in the dark. But when you're honest and you take responsibility, honesty is truth. Truth brings it into the light. You may not like what you're seeing. You may not like what is coming up. But if you take responsibility, you're able to change. And two, the only way it has power over you is if you don't take responsibility. You will always be held by that limited belief. Ladies, you must be committed to your confidence. You must be committed. So when I was thinking about how I was going to speak today, these two words came to me. You must be committed to your confidence, and you must be confident in your commitments. It's crazy how those things work together, isn't it? You must be committed to your confidence. Because why? Because confidence isn't something that comes out of you. Yeah, you know what? The outfit may make me feel confident for a second, or the purse, or you know, the losing the weight, or the things, or the situations. It may give me a shallow sense of confidence, but confidence is always going to make you step outside your comfort zones. Always. It's always going to require you to grow. It's going to, ladies, being committed to your confidence is going to require you to change your inner dialogue. When you spoke, when you looked at the woman beside you, and you didn't feel like you agreed with the woman that you said, those things that you said, they felt like it was going against the grain. Yeah, you're saying it, you want to feel it, but if you really admit it, you don't feel those things. You don't believe those things. You have to be committed to changing your inner dialogue. Yeah, it feels awkward. It feels awkward to look at yourself in the mirror and, hey girl, how are you? You looking good. You know, or you got this, like you said. You started hearing that. And the more you work on your mindset, the more that negative voice, the one that tries to take you down, the limited belief, will get quieter and quieter and quieter. But the only way it gets quieter is you have to work on it. It's like a muscle. If you don't start speaking to yourself positively and starting small, that muscle won't grow. And the loud, negative voices that may come from within you and those around you, you will believe. You will take at them as a truth. So you must be committed to building your confidence, changing your dialogue, setting goals. Setting goals is scary. Especially when we feel like we failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. And we failed for the 10th time. But you don't know that it's the 11th time that you may get it right. You've just found 10 ways that something doesn't work for you, right? You must be committed to changing your relationship with food. This is something that I do in the Fit Club, and something that I've had to overcome personally is our relationship with food, our food language. Food is not good or bad, ladies. Food doesn't have an emotion, actually. Food is energy. That's all it is. It's energy. 80% whole food, 20% soul food. We like a little bit of both. Understanding, being committed to learning about your nutrition can be really uncomfortable, because you'll have diet culture that says, no, you can't eat carbs. Too much fat is bad. No, you can't have this, you can't have that. It segregates food into all these different things. You got to do keto, you got to do carb cycling, you got to do, no. We know from science that that's not true. So learning about your relationship with food, when you learn about it, education's power, ladies. When you learn what is truth from lies, you now have a new sense of confidence in the food choices you choose. Because you know what your body needs, and you know what you can have and what you choose not to have. What you choose to have and what you choose not to have. Committed to training, ladies. Weight training will transform your body like no other. It will make you strong. It will not make you big, and it will not make you bulky. You could get to the point where you're so strong you're lifting those dumbbells, and I guarantee you don't have the genetics to get big, but you'll be scary because you'll be so strong. The only thing that will make a person bigger is if they're over-consuming calories. Has nothing to do with the weights, but weights will make you feel strong. You must be committed to your confidence in doing your check-ins with yourself. Some of you get on the scale, you're like, oh, my weight hasn't changed. Oh, this sucks. I'm just gonna, you feel so discouraged with yourself. But here's the thing, you haven't been taught how to do a check-in. That's not a check-in. Getting on the scale is not a check-in. This is how we do check-ins. And yes, they're uncomfortable because they give us feedback on how we've been doing. Our check-in is our sleep. Have you been getting proper sleep Monday to Friday? Yes or no? 1 to 10. 2 out of 10. Do you have energy? Have you been adhering to your workouts, to your nutrition? Are you eating? How's your hormones? How's your hormone cycles if you still have that? Are you getting your period? Do you know about your period? Do you know about all your cycles? How it affects your body? Okay, if you answer an 8 out of 10, that's great. If the scale hasn't changed, trust the process. Your body will follow your habits. If you haven't been doing any of those things, the habits, your body's not going to follow that. And sometimes, some of us, it takes a little bit longer. Ladies, confident in your commitments, trusting the process. It's not an overnight process. You are a human being. It takes 9 months to create a baby. Almost 10. You're not going to change your relationship with yourself in a 6-week challenge. It just won't happen. Commitment comes first. Confidence follows. It never is the other way around. You'll never feel confident when you need it. Trust me, you won't. Here tonight, I felt like the little girl in grade 4 that ran out of the classroom and hid behind the door. You'll never feel it. But it's the only thing that will build your confidence. Confidence is a lot like motivation. It tends to show up after the discomfort. Motivation is never there when you need it. You can have your best laid plans, and it comes to the day you do it, you won't feel like meal prepping, and you won't feel like doing the workout. But when you do it, and you push yourself to do it, motivation, you feel an extra motivation, you feel confidence. The only way to build your confidence is to step outside those comfort zones, ladies. Those comfort zones of easy, of quick, of instant. Something I've had to learn over the past year is sitting in discomfort. In discomfort. If you don't learn to embrace discomfort, you'll never reach your goals, because goals aren't made in your comfort zones. They're made in learning to sit in the discomfort of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Tracking your nutrition, sitting with the discomfort. Yeah, that's discipline. It sucks. It's really annoying sometimes. Doing your check-ins. Yeah, sometimes it gives you feedback you don't want to hear, and sometimes it does. But being able to love yourself enough going, okay, solution, what can I do? Where can I improve? My sleep, my food. And last thing with discomfort is admitting when you mess up. Admitting when you mess up. But not beating yourself up, right? You can critique yourself. That's okay. Don't criticize yourself. That's not going to do any good. And getting back up. And the stronger your mindset gets and the stronger your relationship with yourself gets, guess what? Every time you fall, you get back up quicker. It's like a baby. Every time they fall and they learn to walk, they get back up. They want to try again. Sometimes they cry for a longer time, but eventually they just keep trying. You show me your commitments, and I'll show you your habits. Some of you are more committed to trying the latest fads than to actually learning about nutrition and what your body requires and learning the things that you need to learn. Some of you are more committed to comparing yourself on social media. Going on social media, looking at so-and-so's body and life and all they're doing, and here you're not doing the things that you should be doing. And you're feeling bad about yourself instead of spending 5 minutes a day working on your mindset and building yourself up. Some of you are more committed to pleasing others and not hurting people's feelings and keeping the promises you made to yourself. You've got to put yourself first. Then we have the overcommitted. Then we've got the overcommitted ladies that are like, I'm starting and I haven't worked out, but I'm going to do 6 days a week. And I don't know what I've been consuming, but I'm going to cut everything out. Your confidence, your commitments, your confidence is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. Your confidence is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. If your confidence is conditional, your habits will be destructive, and your commitments will be inconsistent. I'll say that again. If your confidence is conditional, if it is based on conditions, looking a certain way, having a certain thing, your habits will be destructive, and your commitments will be inconsistent. Until you learn to love the body you have. What makes you think you deserve the body you want? I heard that. That was a hard pill to swallow. You heard Vivica, how she found me. 4 years ago, I had my breast implants removed. And standing in the mirror, breast implants deflated. After I got them removed, I heard God say, and the botox. And I thought, what? I didn't hear that. But I knew at this time in my life, and disclaimer, anybody that gets plastic surgery, botox, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, at this time in my life, it was something that I knew was consuming me. I knew was destroying me. And so I knew where there was one distortion, there are many. So I had to get them removed, stop the botox, and I'm standing in front of the mirror, naked, looking at my deflated boobs, seeing my skin, my lines wrinkle, and I'm like, how am I supposed to be this person, this fitness person, when everybody's getting everything fixed and has this perfect thing to portray? And so what my solution was, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get skinnier. staring at myself, I'm going to get skinnier, I'm going to lose weight. And it was like this big audio voice. I heard God say, could you love her? Could you love the woman in the mirror just as she is, not changing anything at all? And I was so angry because I couldn't. I didn't want to. I wanted to look this certain way. But I also was sad because I didn't. I wanted to love myself the way that he made me, but I just didn't know how. I knew that my relationship with my body was so toxic. You guys, 13 years clean and sober from drugs and alcohol. And and it was almost like, what? I felt like I was going through the same thing. But those were the things that I ended up using drugs and alcohol for. It was all just seemed like it was warped into this big thing. And I felt God say, it's time. We've got to work on this. We've got to repair this relationship. And I knew it was time to change my story. I knew it was time to heal my relationship with myself. The most important relationship you will ever have, besides with your Creator, is you. The one that you have with you. Your story has to change. The story has to change in order to become the woman that you want to be. Whatever story is keeping you from that woman, it has to change. The story around your identity, the story around your ability, the story around your body, the story around your nutrition, the story around your training. You have to be committed to changing those stories. Whatever ones are holding you back, remember the problem, the solution. There is a solution. But you first must learn to love the body you have in order to have the body you want. You first must learn to love everything your body does for you. Because I promise you, how much fat you have on your body is the least important thing about you. If you ask the people that are surrounded by you that love you, that's not the first most important thing. You do those healthy things so that you can be a better person, be there for those people that love you, so that you can be healthier. I've had it. I've had the boobs, I've had the botox, I've been skinny, I've been ripped, I've had the muscle, I've had the things. Guess what? It was never enough. It's never enough. It's like this beast that just consumed me. It was never enough. It will never be enough. And so when I got those things, when I had them, it was never enough. I seen more. I seen more lines. And the boobs were never big enough. The waist was never tight enough. It was just this thing that was so all-consuming. But if you commit to loving yourself where you're at, I mean loving on yourself. I mean your body does so much for you. Your heart pumps without you telling it to. Your lungs breathe. I mean you have the ability to get strong, so take advantage of it. You have the ability to choose what you get to eat. We are a first world country. You have so many options, and your body does so much for you, so love on it. And when you love on your body, just as it is, guess what? You're going to work out. You're going to choose foods to nourish your body. You're going to find balance. You're going to be allowed to have those things. You'll heal your relationship with food. It won't be this good and bad thing. It will be this balanced thing. Anything, ladies, that promises you easy, instant, or fast, it will cost you. I know it's tempting. It's out there. It's all over social media. It's everywhere. Even some of our friends are doing this next latest thing. I guarantee it'll cost you. It'll cost you your peace. It'll cost you your freedom. Those beliefs, those limited beliefs, they're like a jail in your mind. And they keep you tied down. And lastly, it will cost you your confidence. Your dream body, your dream health, whatever that is to your dream relationship with yourself, it is earned. There is no shortcuts to building a better, healthier, stronger version of yourself. There just is no shortcuts. There's no way around the mountain. If there's little panhandlers telling you this way is faster, I can get you here faster, this, that, you'll just end up in the same place that you started off and probably worse. Your body is earned through gratitude, self-compassion, unapologetic love, unconditional love, discipline, focus, consistency. These all start with your mindset. Anything that promises you otherwise will always cost you to sacrifice your mindset. Your mindset is the foundation. What if I told you guys that as soon as you left here today, you ladies, that as soon as you walked out that door today, that whatever that dream case scenario is for you with your body, for your health, for your confidence, the way you feel about yourself, the way you hold yourself, the things that you want to go after and try but you don't feel it, what if I said you left here today and that was yours? That you could accomplish that. How committed and confident would you be leaving here? I guarantee you, all of you, you'd have this new sense of fire because you expect it. You know it's there. But here's the thing, it is. It is. But the problem is the question that always comes next. But when? But when? Your lack of patience will trip you up every time. Every time. It's not happening fast enough. And until you get as committed to yourself and to your relationship with yourself, into your health, like it was guaranteed, until you're as committed, like you know it's guaranteed. Like I said, when you walk out here, you know that you're going to receive that gift. That if you do these things, you get. If you do these things, you will get that gift. Until you pursue that like it's guaranteed, you will not succeed. You'll go on and off, on and off, on and off the hamster wheel, chasing the cheese that you'll never get. Like Eric Thomas said, until you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you will not succeed. So I'll ask you again, what would it take for you to be fully committed? What would you have to commit to changing? And what's fueling your confidence? Ladies, my hope for you today, my hope, my prayer, is that you leave here today more confident and more committed than when you came in. And if some of you walked in here and you didn't even feel confident or committed, my hope is that a fire ignited in your heart.